Jade Cargill. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're streaming. AEW's pretty great. AEW's pretty great. AEW's pretty great. Hey, Scotty, can you talk a little bit? Interesting. No, you're not. You're not making any sound. Hold on. Now try.
Hello. Oh, I hear myself again. But if I have to do it, I'll do it.
How about now?
I still hear myself.
Okay. Technical difficulties, folks. We're just before we actually properly start the show.
Oh, I forgot Bull.
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see.
Na.
Hello, testing. 1, 2.
So when that happens, I do hear myself.
Sorry, say it again.
I can't hear myself on the stream now, but I might die if I have to hear myself.
Yeah, something changed recently where now it's now it is you're hearing yourself.
Yeah.
You still hear yourself?
Yeah.
Let's see. No, that doesn't do anything. That's not what I wanted. Let's look at this. Again. Apologies, folks. We'll get the show started momentarily.
Sup? Hello, everybody. How about that show last night, huh? Show of the year? Question mark?
Yeah.
No?
Scotty, yeah, just do your classic pre-show banter.
All right, I got this. Don't worry. So everybody, what was your favorite part of the world on GCW? Because personally, mine was when it ended and it was over and I didn't have to watch it anymore.
Scotty, you're giving away content for free. What are you doing, man?
That's right. Okay, I'll talk about something else. Guys, okay, hear me out here. Terminus might be back. And I say this jokingly, but only half joking. Because, I was out. And then they pulled me back in, right? They give us Swerve. Swerve's awesome. They give us Leo Rush. Leo Rush is awesome. Then they give us Serena Deeb. Like, hell yeah. Oh, Ryan didn't know that one.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Serena Deeb's going to Terminus.
I saw Trey Lamar this morning.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like him. But yeah, Serena Deeb. Ryan just bought his ticket. He heard Serena Deeb. He's like, oh shit, gotta go. Man, this is tough. I don't have any notes in front of me. I mean, I have notes. Totally.
The problem is that your echo specifically. It's not echoing on the stream, right?
Oh, you tell me.
Echo specifically. It's not echoing on the stream, right? No, it's not echoing on the stream at all.
All right, I'll live with it.
It's not echoing, so I don't know what the situation is because I don't know what's different. That's the issue.
This sounds like a long-term fix.
Yeah,
so I'm just gonna accept it today.
Yeah, this sounds like something I'll have to look into because I honestly do not know what the issue is because I don't know because nothing has changed. At least nothing that I know about. All the stuff is still the same as it always is.
Well, hit the music.
All right. Yes, sir. Everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show that wakes up in the morning to give you not instant live reactions to the Royal Rumble, but like good, thoughtful. We slept on it. We went into the lab. We formulated the soups, and we've got hot piping takes for you. Is that anything? Is that enough of a preamble? And if you want hot takes on Royal Rumble and if they're too spicy, well, guess what? We'll have cold takes on GCW Hammerstein. If that's not enough, if you want something that is actually good, we'll give you takes on Stardom. That's not only an intro, but also a table of contents for today's episode. I'm Ryan Neitzey. With me, as always, is Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. We get to talk about dog shit, predictability, and greatness today. What's better than that? If you shake it all up, right? If you shake it all up, Ryan, it's pro wrestling. That's exactly what that is. Because if everything was great in pro wrestling, then nothing would be great. So it's these types of shows that remind you what great wrestling is and what bad wrestling is. Thankfully, we got one good one this week, but Ryan, we have plenty of bad.
Yeah. So I'm a film guy, right? You know, I both work in film. I watch a lot of movies. I have this book. It's actually right behind me. I'm gonna grab it for you real quickly, Scotty. I have this book
reading time with Ryan
that I got for Christmas a number of years ago.
Merry Christmas.
Titled 1001 Movies You Need to See Before You Die, right?
That's pretty cool.
And and this ties into wrestling, so bear with me.
That's awesome.
It's a giant enormous
all of them
book.
Yet?
I've seen this many.
Holy fuck. Oh, sorry.
I've put a little tab. If you can't see it, if you're for the audio listeners, I've put tabs where I've seen movies. So, I mean...
ASMR?
Have I seen all of them? No. I mean, this looks like a lot of tabs, but certainly not 1001.
That's probably like 56.
Yeah, it's 56 tabs. So, like, I've seen a buttload of movies. You know, let's just pull up one tab here. I've seen Contempt. Is that anything? From 1963? I've seen that movie.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
I've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm just pulling up random ones.
Classic film.
So in this book, in this 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die book, there are not every movie in this book is a phenomenal masterpiece of art. Right?
Right.
Because I don't remember the specific... Oh, no, I do. So not every movie in here is a specific great piece of art, not a masterpiece of cinema. I recall at least one movie specifically. It is called The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. It's basically like it's trying to be Chinatown, but just in the worst possible way imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is in the book because it is trying to teach you. It's a shitty movie, Scotty. It's an awful movie. It's way poorly edited. It's atrocious. That the reason, and they describe it in the book, The reason it's on the list is because not only do you, as a film viewer, need to understand what great cinema looks like, you also need to understand what shit looks like, because that gives you enough of a full length understanding. And it's not just shit. There's a movie in here that's some people who might listening. I don't know if you know this, Scotty. There's a movie called Sallow or 120 Days of Sodom. Don't look that up. Folks, don't look that up at all. I don't know if you have heard that movie at all, Scotty.
No, I'm literally doing it as we speak.
It's a NSFW warning. It's very graphic. It's a very graphic film, and the reason it's in there is because it's extremely graphic. It's like top 10 lists of most graphic movies of all time. Yeah. Don't look it up, folks. Yeah, I watched that movie. And the reason it's on that list is because it is important in some aspects to watch something like that. So what I'm getting to, tie this all back to wrestling, it is important for, as a wrestling fan, to watch shit wrestling to get an understanding of what shit is, and to properly give the criticism and critiques, and to learn as a wrestling fan what can be improved upon and what has been better. This is a long road to say all this, but it is what it is. Anyways.
Well,
we certainly watched a lot of shit this week.
The good news is that we get to talk about it. And we get to make content with it. That's what WWE is, remember. A content company that happens to have pro wrestling, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Well, what we are is a podcast that is centered around pro wrestling.
Thank God.
That happens to have WWE. So I hope they are happy.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So, of course, we're going to be talking about WWE first. We're also going to talk about some cold takes for GCW Hammerstein. And then we'll talk about, of course, Stardom Nagoya Supreme Fight that I know Scotty was able to view. I was unable to view. So for Scotty, at least you watched something that was very, very good, I hope.
Yeah. I also watched some good matches this week.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I hope you were able to stay warm. Yeah, a little bit of a snowstorm up in Massachusetts there.
Yeah, just a 2-foot blizzard.
Wait, is it 2 feet? I didn't know it was 2 feet. Holy shit.
That's nothing.
Nothing. We had like
3 inches, and the world had to be canceled in Atlanta.
And Terminus was destroyed for it. Oh, was that the same storm? Probably not. I don't know how storms work.
Not a chance.
Fair enough. Got it. Well, I hope you're doing well, Scotty. I hope everyone at home is doing well. We certainly have a lot to talk about in terms of wrestling, and in terms of decent stuff. We'll get to it. Well, in terms of things, we're not going to be. I don't think we'll be we'll be partly overly critical. I try to be like, I don't want to I try to avoid dunking on things unless I have.
No, it's time to bury everything. Done.
Was it Alex calling you out for being too nice?
Yeah. I was like, what? Did you not hear me talk about NWA?
If there's any platform that allows Scotty to give off the dunking takes, it's Ring Post Radio.
Sure is.
Yeah, baby.
I'm nice on everything else.
We throw flowers. That's the other thing. We throw flowers when we can, but it's all about trying to be critical of your analysis. My whole thing is that if you have a reason as to why something sucks and you're able to articulate why something sucks, then it's valid. You can't just be like, throw it away because it's a negative review. Because if you throw away anything that's negative, then you just have WrestleJoy, and that sucks.
Yeah. Here's a positive. I didn't even like Beach Break. Yet, it's like the second best full show I watched this week. I wasn't that big of a fan, but thinking back, I was like, wow, it was a lot better than what I just watched.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree to there. It wasn't like I wasn't like over the moon about Beach Break. I thought the opening ladder match was pretty good. I was kind of I thought the last lights out match was fine, okay. I thought it definitely could have been better, but just the sheer amount of book endings that this past week of wrestling is is insane. So let's get to it. Let's start off with the Royal Rumble. Of course, last night Royal Rumble took place out of St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know what arena this is whatsoever.
It was the Dome at America Center.
Yes. The
You
Dome
know
at
how I know
America
that?
Center. 44,000 in attendance to watch this show.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, at least that's what Cage Match says. Basically a sellout.
Yeah.
A sellout for this
I thought it was a
show.
cool venue.
Yeah, so that is the thing. Is like being able to have like these quote unquote, I'll say it, dome shows, which seems weird to say for WWE. Putting on these dome shows is very good move especially for these big pay-per-views. You know, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania just makes everything feel bigger. And obviously they're still able to sell it out. So, you know, they're doing something right there, I guess. I don't know. What else are they doing? Royal Rumble, of course, took place last night. 44,000 attendance. Let's start off. I don't know how to start this, Scotty. I don't know how to start this. Because part of me is like, there feels like a pressure on my shoulders to like really bury this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting critically dunked on everywhere I have not seen a single positive review about this show anywhere.
Well, to be fair, it doesn't deserve one. Okay, I'll start off for us.
Please.
So, when the night peaks on the second entrance, you know it's over. Okay? So, to set the scene for those who may not have watched it, God bless your soul, they kicked off with the Universal title match. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, shit. Here we go. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Why not?
Setting the tone for the entire night, starting off with the match.
We had the Tribal Chief. We had Seth freaking Rollins, as they like to say 27 times a night. And Mr. Seth comes out with the old Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield. And I popped out of my mind. I was like, yes, great. I love the Shield. And then they had a really good 75% of the match, right? That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I would even say maybe more than 75. I would ultimately say like 90% of the match was pretty good.
It was fitting to what they've done in the past.
Yeah.
And then they had the finish of the guillotine and this DQ, and I was like, oh, the problem is that there's going to be no payoff to this. So it was useless. Like, they're not going to go back to Rollins Reigns right now. Maybe at SummerSlam. Big maybe.
Who knows, man? Who freaking knows at this point?
I thought this was the match of the night.
Easily.
And the best part of the show until the end.
Till the end. Oh,
the end of the match.
The end being the peacock logo coming up saying, "Oh, we'll be right back." You know, I thought this match was pretty good. So Seth Rollins, of course, versus Roman Reigns. To set the head of the table here a little bit. Of course, Roman Reigns walking out, Tribal Chief. Seth Rollins comes out as the Joker, wearing the Shield getup. I don't know about you, but I felt that this version of Seth Rollins should have come out not in the Shield getup, but some sort of leopard cheetah print Shield getup. Make that vest
pretty funny.
Make that vest ugly as hell. I thought that would be hilarious. Get more chaotic with it. Why not? Who cares? And you know, a little short build for this story. You know, of course, there's a lot of history with them, but the story itself had a short amount of build. And we get to it. And there is like references galore. We get the spear turning into the pedigree. We get the buckle bomb. We get the the shield bomb, which is really just a power bomb with one person. Batista, well known for his shield bomb. We get all these things, a lot of references, a lot of callbacks, some good stuff, methodical, like Michael Kolex says for Roman Reigns, methodical. Sure. Definitely. Of course. And then you get to the ending where Seth Rollins puts out his fists and he's like laughing maniacally. And he's like, pound me, brother. Fist bump me, and then Roman's just like incensed. He's like, how dare you show me a fist at this time in a match? How, mumbling to himself, like doing all this theatrics. Then he slaps in the guillotine. It's like, all right, Roman Reigns has had enough, right? And then Rollins is dragging himself and Roman over to the ropes. Seth Rollins goes down. Charles Robinson checking on him. And this is like, to me, where the match got infinitely worse. Charles Robinson lifts his hand up and then holds it for like a little too long. And then it drops like immediately onto the ropes. It looked like Charles just basically put his hand on the ropes. And I was like, what the hell, Charles? What kind of referee interference is this? And then you get Roman. He's sitting on it. He's sitting on the guillotine. I'm not letting go. And he doesn't let go. Charles calls for the disqualification. Seth Rollins wins by DQ. And then post-match, you get some chair shots by Roman, replicating the Shield breakup. The Shield is no more, I guess.
So,
whatever.
Seth Rollins may have been the most over person on the show. That's there every week.
Good,
good
qualifier. Good qualifier.
That part. The crowd was into this match. The crowd was into him winning, and it helps. It was the start of the show, but they were cheering, burn it down, and every near fall, like the curve stomp near fall, got the big time. That was really good.
Mm-hmm. Crowd was into.
And I wrote it. I wrote the article this week about like how Rollins, debatably is on the edge of another babyface boom for his career. He's a lot better as a babyface when it comes to his in-ring. I think it just works well with him.
Yeah.
So Rollins beating Reigns makes a lot more sense to me than anyone else right now down the line. So I guess they could always come back to it. But it's what it is. I'm not going to complain about this match because
it was a good match.
Complain for another 5.
Yeah, it was a good match. Ultimately, I think this is a good match. Where do we go with Rollins? Who kind of knows up to this point? I think, he's going to be probably part of the Elimination Chamber, probably for the WWE title or something in that place. Roman obviously, this was Act 1 of the Roman Reigns story for tonight for the Royal Rumble. So we'll get to more of him, I guess, as the night goes on. I thought it was very good. It just a shitty finish that, hindsight wise, was the first drop in what the show was to come. And boy howdy, not a good start to the road to WrestleMania. Got a pretty bumpy road to the WrestleMania, it appears. And it's not only that, Scotty, but it's just like, this is like one of the big shows, right? And this is
well,
it's Paul. Anyways, this is one of the big shows of WWE. It is like Easter for wrestling fans. And by that I mean Catholics go to actual church on Easter because they don't go to church anywhere else or any other week. That's a Catholic joke anyways. Kind of bombed the joke. I was sweating over here. But Royal Rumble is like,
I'm legitimately sweating, which is why I'm taking the sweatshirt.
oh, ooh! I thought this is. I didn't realize this is ring post radio nights. Taking off the hoodie, taking off the hat. Oh yeah, Scotty.
This show's canceled.
So like this show brought in. You're gonna have a huge audience for the show, right? Well, your biggest audience you probably could have all year is the Royal Rumble, and it's just like the fucking goose egg that was laid. Like that's gonna be the theme of today's episode for Ring Post is biggest audience possible. Oh, hopefully not for our show, but biggest possible audience, biggest letdown possible.
Here's the thing for WWE. They can easily move on. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They're always going to be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
They can have the biggest stud. And by the way, these Rumbles were terrible. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
But they're not the worst ever. The Roman Reigns one exists.
Oh, the what, 2015?
Yeah, and that is the worst Royal Rumble of all time. The way they ended that, awful. Just terrible.
I think this was maybe one. I think this is the worst women's Royal Rumble.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
Which let's get to that now. The women's Royal Rumble was next, of course. Fun little stat for you, Scotty. Half of the women's Royal Rumble participants were either inactive wrestlers or working for another company.
It's you know, it's almost like they released too many and had no other fucking option. You know, we know they asked the Iconics to come in.
You fired them months ago.
Well, they fired Mickie James too, but you know, some people have standards. And I just sat there watching this. I was like, this is not only sad, but why am I supposed to care about these people? I never cared about Summer Rae.
Mm-hmm.
I never cared about Cameron. I never cared. Why am I going to care now that they're coming back? These aren't legends. They're fucking shitty wrestlers.
Yeah, that laundry list of quote-unquote legends, of course, was Alicia Fox. Sporting some news.
Hey, Alicia Fox at least had a championship reign.
She had championship reign. Sporting some sleeves. Liking that.
Yes.
Brie Bella, Cameron, Ivory, which that was a surprise. But it was, like we talked about in the pre-show, it was kind of just a good surprise, but like, sure. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Kelly, Lita, we already kind of knew about, but still, I'm not sure what's happening with her. Melina, NWA's Melina, Michelle McCool, Impact's Mickie James. You said something?
I don't know if we're going to talk about Lita again. Lita versus Britt Baker would have been fucking horrible.
Lita did not look good in this match. She did not look good.
She needed to. I mean, she's not young. No offense.
No, she
was
missed
in her heyday.
Did she need to? Well, this Royal Rumble match needed her to look good. And if they're teasing,
this Royal Rumble needed a lot.
Yeah,
Ryan.
Yeah, that's true. Michelle McCool, Mickie James from Impact, Molly Holly, Nikki Bella, Sarah Logan showed up. Sonya Deville, if you count her as inactive. Summer Rae. Yeah, not a lot of also returns either. I don't remember the last time we saw Shayna Baszler. Does that count as a return?
She was on SmackDown, I learned.
Oh, is she on SmackDown?
This past week, she was on SmackDown.
No, she lost to Naomi in 30 seconds.
She also has a new theme song that's trash. So, that's cool.
So, we got 15 inactive other company wrestlers. And you have so many more people on the shelf that we have no idea what's happening with them. Bayley not there. Asuka not there. You don't know what's happening with any of these people. I don't know what's happening with any of these people. You fire so many people. Mickie James, you call up Mickie James, say, hey, can you come in? She says, sure, but I want to come in with the Impact title. That's fine. You call up the Iconics to get 2 more people to get some sort of Forbidden Door, whatever.
Country.
Sorry, not the Iconics. The where Ill Begotten. What are they? Inspiration. You call up the Inspiration, right?
More like the Midspiration.
And they're just like, no, we're good. We're just good.
No pop. That's a shame.
Scotty, what are the odds WWE called up more people that they fired?
100%. I don't know.
Do you think Tegan Knox got a call? Do you think Tony Storm got a call?
No.
Do you think
those
Athena
are two
got a
talents
call?
people actually like. They only call people that they liked, not that people liked, that they liked.
Well,
Tegan
if they
Knox
like
never got a
these people,
shot.
why cut them in the first place?
Well, they liked them enough, but not too much. Okay. Let's just talk one in trouble. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Ronda Rousey came back, she won the match. The right choice, by the way.
Yeah.
These are my hot takes of the show. There's right choices. And the point of the Royal Rumble is to have the main eventers of WrestleMania win these matches. These two are main eventing night 1 and night 2. That one.
Yeah.
They're going to main event night 1 and night 2. So that's fine. I don't care. Like, great. The two biggest names they have right now. So that's, again, fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the matches were bad. Ronda didn't look very good. Now, I'm not going to fault her. She'll probably be fine by WrestleMania, because she's an athlete. She probably got called like 2 weeks ago, and she's like, yeah, I'll come back. Because she didn't have her normal gear on or anything. Like, she just had jeans and a shirt.
She looked awful. She looks
like her mom.
That's true.
That's what she's doing. So it's fine. But her wrestling wasn't great. But I think by WrestleMania she'll be fine.
That's true. I can agree.
But you have an entire real roster that you pay day in and day out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest problem, this was more in the men's match, is that
evident very well in both matches, but definitely in the men's as well.
But the problem is none of them are getting reactions. Not a single one. You have Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. They're getting reactions. Of course they're getting reactions. They're two people you care about, so that's why the fans are going to care about them, right? But when you have all these legends that no one gave a shit about back then, why am I going to give a shit about them now? No offense to Lita. People like Lita. They present her as a legend because she was.
Yeah.
But Summer Rae, I'm going to keep bringing up the Summer Rae thing. I'm sorry. Because I keep forgetting Cameron was in it. God bless. These people weren't legends. They were just, okay, we need to fill this Royal Rumble because we released too many people and we don't want to use NXT anymore. That was a big reason these two Rumbles sucked. They killed NXT. And NXT used to provide the best surprises of these matches. The best. For the past 5 years or so.
Sure.
Give or take.
Sure.
Or just the idea that, oh, you know what? Someone from NXT might show up. You didn't have that feeling this year.
You didn't have it actually happen at all.
Exactly. But you didn't have that feeling anyways.
Yeah.
Some people thought Walter was going to show up. Sorry, Gunther.
You thought that maybe in the men's match there would be like one or two people. But admittedly, who on the women's roster of NXT was going to show up in this? Mandy Rose?
Io Shirai
maybe,
but
Priscilla Kelly, Gigi Dolin, maybe.
I mean, they could have had these people, but who else is ready? Raquel, I guess. Maybe.
Raquel? That's not a bad. Well, if you bring up Raquel, then Vince is going to get her claws on Raquel and bring her up to the main roster.
Good. That means no one has to watch her.
Dakota Kai come back to the roster, the Rumble.
Dakota Kai had like 4
again.
Tryouts.
Yeah.
And got sent back down.
Yeah, Dakota Kai is not going to the main roster ever. As long as Vince is in charge.
She had another tryout this past week.
Yeah. She keeps getting bumped up and then always getting shot down. Well, I don't know why people still think that she's going to the main roster. If she hasn't gone to the main roster yet, she's not going to, guys. I don't like it. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that sucks and I hate it.
If she does, she's gonna be in catering, and then she's gonna get released. And I'm not trying to be mean, but this is the truth. This is what we just watched. This is why this Royal Rumble was made up of people that haven't wrestled in 5 years at least.
This is so evocative of what the women's division is in this company.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are, obviously we'll talk about the men's thing. They're not building up anyone. They're not building up a single soul, and they have to bring in Ronda Rousey and all of her baggage into the spot to win. Yeah, I agree. Was Ronda a draw back in the day when she was wrestling? I don't remember. I remember she was over in the company, but I don't remember if she was like a draw, right? And it's hard to argue because WWE's been on a decline for a while. But yeah. I don't recall if she was a draw. But she's a big enough mainstream star to be in this spot, right?
Right.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair was never going to win. She's the champ. No.
Nope.
I like the idea of her winning. I think that's different, but WWE doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to do different.
We don't need more Charlotte winning.
Yeah, I agree. We don't need Charlotte winning, but I'm just saying that I thought that would have been more fun to have the champion win. Sasha Banks was number 1, which didn't look good, but then got just like dumped out by Queen Zelina.
Yeah, she was gone by number 8.
Yeah.
That was also their problem last night. They had the most anticlimactic elimination for people that were actually cared about. Sasha and AJ Styles, most specifically.
Sasha especially more than AJ Styles, I would say. Because they didn't have Bayley or Asuka or any of these like bigger name stars in this Rumble, Sasha being thrown out early made it so that there was just this big middle section of the Royal Rumble where there was no big stars.
Except for Bianca,
which...
It was Bianca pretty much the entire time until Charlotte came out.
And also, by the way, we haven't even said Rhea Ripley. She was in that section, and no one even mentioned
bigger
her.
Stars.
Yeah, she's not because that's what I'm saying. That's my point. She's not a star. Rhea Ripley's not a star.
She should be.
She should be.
But she's not.
She's not. I would argue, my opinion, Bianca Belair's in this company not a star. She's popular, sure, but does this company see her as a star?
I think so.
No, I disagree completely.
I think they definitely see her as a star. Outside of the Becky thing, they've kept her very protected.
Okay, now I'm pulling up Cage Match here. Prove my point. Let's look at these matches.
She beat Doudrop like 3 weeks in a row.
I think, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen here. Let's see.
Outside of all the Becky matches, she's pretty protected. She at least doesn't get pinned in multi-people matches either.
I would agree that Bianca Belair is higher than Liv Morgan and Doudrop, but
she's the second biggest star on Raw for women's.
But look, and if that's true, look how they treated her with the Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, the real star, comes in and destroys her. You know, like that, like she's, I don't know, man. I don't think Becky Lynch is building up. Becky Lynch as champion is not building up this promotion. Not this promotion, this division.
No, they miscast Becky.
Yeah.
We've been over this. She shouldn't be a heel. And, we felt it last night. No one cares right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was other things happening during that match.
Yeah.
To be fair.
The fire and following a Royal Rumble stuff, too.
Yeah. Tough spot. So yeah, Royal Rumble match stunk. Women's match stunk. Melina comes in at number 2. Big surprise, big pop. Everyone's excited about Melina. She does the splits. Everyone loves it. Then she gets like eliminated in like 2 seconds by Sasha Banks. Mickie James comes out with the Impact title. I'm just going through news points. Mickie James comes out with the Impact title. Lasts pretty long. Gets a couple eliminations, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many she got. Maybe. Did she get any? Did she get
I
any?
don't think she got any.
She got one elimination. She
She just
eliminated Michelle McCool.
Showed up.
Good use. By the way, good political use of Mickie James. Right, eliminates Michelle McCool. They got rivalry, and also she's not hired by the company, and then gets eliminated by Lita, another legend, and also doesn't kind of really not a full-time wrestler.
Does she get a Impact Knockouts Championship match now?
I believe so. I believe the rules of the Rumble are that if you eliminate the champion, then you get a title shot on a different promotion.
Impact would love that, because they're kings of not pushing their own talent.
I'll talk about this also more. Well, they push them, and then they're like, "Hey, what about Moose though?"
To be fair to Moose, they've had him forever, but like they had this great run with Deanna, and then they're like, well, shit, Mickie James is here now. We gotta give her the title.
Yeah. I had that thought the other day about how Kenny Omega's title reigns were meant to put over Adam Page, Josh Alexander, and El Hijo del Vikingo.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, that guy's great. And then only one of those happened.
Well, the problem was they had to give it to Hangman first. Like Hangman had to be the first person to beat him.
Yeah.
But by then his body was done.
Yeah. It was it was what it is.
This is such a depressing show. So let's continue.
And that's the thing. It's like, do we want to talk? Like people like expect like dunking takes, right? But it is just like, how do you dunk a show that is just? It's not funny bad, and we'll get to funny bad. But it's not funny bad. It's like it's so emblematic of what this company is. You get, popular internet faction Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan back together. There's tears. They're happy.
I couldn't care less.
And then they get promptly eliminated by the Stars, the Bella Twins. It happens in the Men Rumble too. It's like, ooh, maybe some future star people and Liv Morgan. Nah, screw you. Get out of here.
Men's Rumble is when my takes come in. Because the Women's Rumble, I feel like we all knew it wasn't going to be good. Like, think about it. You saw the lineup. Like, they announced all these legends.
Yeah.
We knew. We were excited. Oh, we get to see these people. But really, were we? I didn't give a shit. No offense to them, but it's not like they were bringing back. I mean, Lita's cool.
Lita's cool.
But like, they weren't bringing back Trish and AJ Lee and Paige and like all these people that like you don't expect to see. No, they brought Summer Rae. I'm gonna keep saying it. They brought Summer Rae.
Oh, but no,
Cameron.
But we got to stand Summer Rae because she ran to the ring right as she crossed the camera, just going like "F you" and just ran right to the ring. You got to stand that. That's great. I love that shit. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. I don't think we want to dive. Oh well, before we get going off of it though, we got to talk about the our predictions, the game. The most important thing about this entire show.
Yeah.
So we did a little game of predictions. Let's go through and see if we were at all correct, Scotty.
To be fair to us, the Ronda Rousey thing was announced after our recording.
Yeah, so it was impossible for us to know that. So winner, we both said Bayley, I believe.
God, I wish it was Bayley.
No Bayley.
I miss Bayley.
Bayley too.
This company misses Bayley. She's one of the most charismatic people they have. Yeah,
their two other biggest stars, I would say both over Bianca Belair, are Bayley and Asuka, and they were nowhere to be seen. Where is Asuka?
No one knows.
She's just back in Japan, just chilling and waiting for COVID to
I don't think
over.
So. I really don't, because she was like very content being here in America. There's a reason she came here.
Yeah.
I think they just have nothing for her.
First in, second in, I said Lita and Shotzi. Okay, double X is there. Now, to be fair, I said second in was Shotzi, and second to last was Shotzi. So
I also said second in was Shotzi.
So there's something there. Who'd you say is first in?
Rhea Ripley. Sasha Banks was also not announced for the Rumble at the time. So
that is true. Longest. I said Bianca Belair, which happened to be true. So that's 1 point for me.
I also said Bianca Belair.
It's 1 point for Scotty. Remember, again, we should reiterate what's on the line here.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'll remind everyone. So if someone gets one of their numbers right, they get a prize. But most importantly,
Well, there's
whoever has
predicted Royal Rumble number spots.
Right. But most importantly, whoever gets the most superlatives wrong, aka they sucked at guessing, they have to watch the 5 worst cage matches on a live watch along here on the Count Out Twitch.
That's true.
Which is very entertaining.
Which
because that means you have to watch Kane and Undertaker versus DX.
Lawler versus Cole at WrestleMania. That is number 1. That is the worst one. So we both said Bianca Belair. Most eliminations. I said Michelle McCool.
I said Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair is correct with 5 eliminations. Good on her. 30th. I said Flair, which was incorrect. It was, in fact, Shayna. Who did you say?
I said Alexa Bliss.
Again, not in this Rumble. Where's Alexa Bliss? Hasn't she been teased to return on Raw?
I think so.
Like she's been doing segments on Raw.
They didn't put any of their stars in this.
Yeah, like
the people they consider stars, they didn't put them in the match.
Like we're here complaining about it's not just that they're not building new stars, but they have 3 stars waiting in the wings that they're just not using.
Yeah,
there's gotta be something else or something's happening because they're just like, nah, not yet. I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing? Final 4.
Needed Ivory out there to yell. Sorry.
Who are your final 4?
Bailey, nailed it. Alexa Bliss, nailed it. Bianca Belair, 1.
Yeah.
And Lita.
Which was a no, I believe.
No.
Who were your final? Who was the final 4? It was
I believe it was Ronda, Charlotte, Bianca,
and Shayna. I said Bailey, Belair, Ripley, and Morgan. I thought the company was higher on Morgan than I thought. Apparently, it was just
got a point.
What was just one-off title match? Numbers. Pick 2, one yourself, the other randomize. The number I picked was 17, which was Charlotte Flair. Great number. Great number pick. Second,
2 great numbers.
2 great numbers. Scotty, what was your pick?
At 24 and 26.
24, Nikki Bella. Not too bad. Not too bad, but definitely not going to win. And what was the other one? 26?
Yeah.
Lita. Not too bad either.
Not bad names.
But I had 17, like I said, Charlotte Flair, and 28, Ronda Rousey. I win, baby. Woo! Sabu style.
Got the number.
That. I get a prize. What is the prize? Did we ever decide the prize?
Yeah, we said a Hook beanie.
Did we say that? Hook beanie? Do those exist?
Yeah, they do. It just says Hook on it.
Yeah, baby. Can't wait.
Well, just wait a few minutes because everyone gets a Hook beanie.
Spoiler alert. Men's. We'll get to the men's, I guess.
Becky and Doudrop was not good, but to be fair to them, there was a sign on fire, and the sign was the WrestleMania sign. It was on fire. Everyone was paying attention to that.
Everyone was evacuated for that.
Hell, even Becky Lynch was paying attention to that. She turned her head so many times. She's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Where are all those people going?
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Which is probably terrifying, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm not going to blame them for this being a snooze fest, even though it was always going to be a snooze fest. That just did not help them. They followed the Royal Rumble. 1, terrible anyway.
Crappy slot for them.
2, Doudrop is not pushed enough for people to care. No offense.
Yep.
3, there was a sign on fire.
that they had to lower the entire sign, evacuate people, out of the way, put out the fire, and then put it back up. They had to do all of that while the match was happening. So, like, the entire crowd's not into it because it's like, what is happening over there?
Yeah. How were they supposed to be?
Yeah. This match was not too great. I mean, it was okay. It
wasn't
fine.
bad.
It wasn't bad.
I'll give them that.
It was certainly fine.
But
I thought
everything just drained it.
Do you think Dewdrop performed enough to be considered a future star?
Future star? No one is going to be compared to future star. We just said this.
Yeah, no.
They're not even using their real stars.
Did she surpass Liv Morgan?
No.
I thought I thought this match was better than Liv Morgan's and Becky Lynch's.
Maybe. I mean, the reaction was so bad.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of a match goes based off reaction. At least Liv Morgan got reaction. This was like, oh, who cares?
I almost,
the match itself was fine.
I would like for them
finish.
I would like, just out of good graces and to get a really good sense of what was supposed to happen, I would like this match to get like one of those classic rematches on Raw the next night.
They probably will.
I think they should, just because, because of the situation about the match. There's nothing storyline wise that makes sense of why they would do that, but they should just do it.
I think they could have a pretty good match.
Well, they had one, and it was fine. But maybe if no sign distractions, yeah. Maybe if no sign distractions, maybe it would be better.
Yeah, the finish was cool. Top rope, rock bottom,
manhandle slam. Excuse me, sir.
She called it the rock bottom on her interview with Stone Cold, so I can call it the rock bottom.
Fair enough. WWE title match: Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. During the match, good hard-hitting match. Brock is, I would say, maybe 60-40 Brock. Bobby Lashley's getting in some hits, doing some damage.
The opening 5 minutes was really good.
Yeah, very, very good stuff there.
When Bobby Germaned Brock the first time,
yeah,
I was like, oh my God, Brock, what are you doing? And he just was like rolled over and started laughing. I was like, that probably hurt.
Yeah.
That was cool, like them exchanging Germans and being like, okay. And then Brock started to do the thing where he just kind of dominates, and then Roman came in.
And Roman comes out. He the referee goes down, allowing Roman to come out. He attacks
in the worst forced ref bump I've seen in a very long time.
Very, very House of Torture ref bump style.
Hey. I'll just toss that out there. Evil didn't deserve that one.
That's fair. But yeah, so ref goes down. Roman comes out, beats up Brock, turns to Paul Heyman, who hands him the WWE title.
I liked that. I'll say the little turn of Paul rejoining Roman and be like, oh yeah, this was all a ruse. I liked that part.
Act 2 is unveiling in front of us of the Roman Reigns story saga tonight.
He also, this was a little tidbit that I noticed. So after Roman did the spear, he did the thing like that. And I was like, it's very Rock of him. So yeah, this guy.
I thought it was very Sean Spears of him.
All right, see ya. I can't believe you just said that. I can't.
Hey, Sean Spears does the same thing, man.
Oh my God, Ryan Neitzey, favorite wrestler, Sean Spears.
10, baby.
He's never had a 5-star match, let alone a 10-star match.
That's true.
Or 4.
But yeah, so then Roman beats him up. Paul joins Roman Reigns yet again.
Then Bobby wins, LL.
And Bobby wins. Bobby Lashley
Good for
wins.
Bob, though. We like Bob.
Yeah. Obviously, we're protecting Brock still because it's not a clean finish. It's Brock at the end of the day, But it is a pin. He did hold his own, I would say, in the match for what it was.
He tossed Brock Lesnar on his freaking neck, so that was cool.
That's cool.
The Germans were fun. The spears were fun. It was good until they had to get to the point where we have to beat Brock somehow, which is kind of how it always goes. And do they have a better match than them? Absolutely. If they ever actually want to let them go. Of course, you have to accept that Brock's winning that one, but
Yeah.
maybe someday.
It is very interesting because you can really tell who's like a good wrestler in the first 90% of a match. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh man, this is them as a wrestler. Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Brock, who they are as a wrestler. And then when you get to the last 5 minutes of story, it's like, okay, whatever. You just throw it away at this point.
Yeah. Brock's really good, by the way.
Brock is great. I love Brock.
I feel like we have to remind people of this. Brock Lesnar, there's a reason he's one of the greatest of all time. Like, when this dude is willing to sell for his opponent, he's one, like the best seller in the business.
Yeah.
Two, he just makes everything feel more important. Like those spears and that German. He made Bobby feel like, oh, he's on his level. And I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Big credit to Big Rock.
Yeah. B-Rock, as I like to call
B-Rock.
WWE title. Do you have any idea what's going to happen with that at WrestleMania? WWE doesn't, apparently.
No, my guess is they give it to Seth.
At WrestleMania?
Yeah, I said this before the show. I think you do Seth, Kevin, and Bobby.
I don't know. I think they might do Kevin, Damian Priest. But yes, either way. I think either way they'll do. I agree.
Oh, the match. Never mind. I thought you meant Damian Priest in the WWE title match. I was like,
no. I think we're gonna get a WWE title elimination chamber match.
Yep.
And Bobby Lashley wins, but Seth does something that pisses off Bobby or whatever, and then that's how we get into WrestleMania.
It's fine.
Yeah, no long-term stories here, but I think
Seth is over.
Seth is over. Seth is liked. Seth is enjoyed.
Which, good for him that he got back to that level. I never knew if he would.
Yeah, the gimmick's over. I mean, the gimmick is supposed to be a heel gimmick, so is it over in the right sense? Maybe no, but over is over. I don't know.
Over is over.
Mixed tag team match. Beth Phoenix and Edge defeating the team of Maurice and The Miz. Scotty, you fell apart as I was reading this. At least the match is only 12 minutes, so that's an improvement from day one.
Saw some people say, can we say Edge's return has been a failure? I don't think a failure, but
I think he's had more misses than hits.
Yes. Not all of them are his fault. You put him in 2 matches against The Miz. And I know why they had the mixed tag. Because, Edge and Beth probably won the team once. They, went and saw their kids in the front row. So that's fine. Did it need to be on the Royal Rumble? No, did not. But it's fine. But yeah, he's definitely had more misses than hits. He had a good year.
I don't remember anything from this match. I don't remember a single spot.
I remember Maurice's boob almost fell out.
Nice. Good. Good job, Scott.
I remember that they did a double spear at the end.
Yeah.
And then they did the double glam slam.
Yeah.
The match wasn't good.
Edges looked hard. That looked like a hard bump from Ed for the Edge's glam slam thing.
Yeah, that one did. he kind of brought him up and just instantly dropped him.
Yeah, he threw Miz down. I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. The match wasn't good. Not that I expected it to be good.
I thought it was fine. A lot of the show is just fine. And that's like, it's harder for me to give like a take on something that's fine.
Oh, see, I'll just say it was bad.
That's fair. Speaking of bad, men's Royal Rumble's next, of course. Brock Lesnar, of course, is your big old winner. Coming in at number 30, losing the title. And this is Act 3 of the Roman Reigns saga. Brock Lesnar wins. We're all expecting Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania now. Either night 1, night 2. Who cares? Get ready, folks, for a stupendous main event.
So, Ryan.
Yes.
Would you like to discuss how this is the first time since how many releases have they had? 4, 5? since the
Oh,
last Royal Rumble.
how many batches of releases?
Yeah. This is the first time that I think I really sat there. Now the woman's, yes.
You really felt
But
it in the women's.
this time you got to sit there and see the ones on the roster still.
Yeah.
And how much no one gives a shit about them. You have your stars with Brock and Drew and Kevin.
Randy
was very over, but they're in St.
AJ.
Louis, of course.
AJ.
So those people are over.
Bad Bunny.
Well, Bad Bunny's a different case, but yes.
It's over. Over like Rover.
Almost everybody else gets 0 to no reaction, which is worse than booed or cheered.
Or booed.
Like if they're baby faces and they get booed, at least there's a reaction there.
Mm-hmm.
They got nothing.
Yeah.
This was a quiet Rumble because people were waiting for surprises, and all they got was Shane McMahon.
Well, Bad Bunny was a surprise, and McIntyre was a surprise too.
Bad Bunny was cool. Drew got a good pop.
Well, because he was legit surprised because reports were that like even they kayfabe the injury a little bit, but like he was apparently legit injured, allegedly.
Yeah, like there was a question at one point if you'd make it back for Mania.
Yeah. And it was just like, oh, what the? He's here? How did he get back so quick? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
They gave him a big spot. He was final 2 in the Rumble, so good for him. He's still, in that main event tier. They have that match with Roman coming down the line. But, yeah, if you watch this Rumble from beginning to end, you just realize how gutted their roster is, how WWE has released every wrestler that people gave a damn about. Jeff Hardy, Keith Lee. Like, I'm just thinking of people from the past couple Rumbles that have got great pops and great reactions.
Bray Wyatt.
Nothing felt more evident, Bray Wyatt, than not having Daniel Bryan anymore. This was the first show I watched, and I was like, wow, he's not here. And they so badly needed him. Like, they need him so, not that it would matter, but he was one of their real legitimate stars, and he really did just leave himself. So, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, Braun.
The almost shit sucked too.
Braun was another one. Yeah, this one stunk too. So of course, you got a bunch of people in there. You had a couple surprises with Shane McMahon showing up. We of course eulogized. It was the day of his grandmother's passing, so we have to eulogize that. Drew McIntyre is a big surprise, like a big shoot surprise. Bad Bunny, they teased that he was there at social media, and then he showed up in the actual ring. Hairdressers around the world rejoiced seeing Bad Bunny. But yeah, Shinsuke was also back, so that was cool. Johnny Knoxville gave a Shibata-like elbow to AJ Styles.
Johnny Knoxville might have been my favorite part. Because he went in there to get beat up, and that was pretty entertaining. And then we moved on.
Other the news items from this show, I don't. From this Rumble, Kofi Kingston. Comes in. They're hyping up the Kofi Kingston. This is like his 20th Rumble or some shit. They're hyping him up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this man, human highlight reel." He immediately does some stuff with Owens, and then he jumps off the ring, off the top rope or whatever, flies onto the barricade. I believe Naomi did this spot a while ago. I think from the steel steps. Maybe there's a reason why she did it from the steel steps, not the top rope. Who knows?
This was an insane attempt.
And whiffs it. Immediately touches both feet on the floor.
I don't know who doesn't whiff that. Like
maybe Kofi 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean the amount of height he got.
The guy's older.
It was asking a lot for him to do that.
Yeah.
So that was just another reason this didn't work. Like that was always a guaranteed spot pretty much every year, but he just couldn't do it this time.
Yeah. That was disappointing. And apparently, according to reports online, I believe Sean Rossap maybe said this, but apparently he was supposed to have some stuff to do with Big E.
Yeah.
Big E comes in, does some things, and
Gets
again
eliminated.
gets eliminated. To be fair to that elimination, I think part of that was supposed to have like the Kofi Kingston stuff involved. So I think that was part of why that elimination stunk. But I think at this point we can all firmly say that Big E is just a dude now. He also apparently before the Rumble got quietly moved over to the SmackDown roster. So that means he's just going to be, he's not in the Universal title picture. He's not in the WWE title picture. While we're waiting for Xavier Woods to come back, it's just Big E and Kofi Kingston.
Yep.
He's just a tag team dude yet again.
Yep.
It's the Kofi Kingston story. It's the Big E story. I mean, I don't know what we're expecting. You know, not like a stupendous reign for Big E, but in terms of like draw or whatever. But and booking, it was also not necessarily the greatest, I would say. And then he's just promptly dude status achieved again.
I look forward to what they're going to do when they don't have the Brock Lesnar's of the world anymore. They're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, like what's the point? Like you piss off Brock, you're screwed, right? Or like Brock's just like, no, I'm good. It's like, what do we do? Like they have
Brock will get to that point.
To go back to your point from earlier, they got nobody. This match suffered from just a lot of nobodies, a lot of tag team dudes, just a lot of like nothing really too special.
Lack of star power.
Rick Boogs cut his hair.
You know, the women's match and how they didn't include a lot of their stars. The men's division just they don't have stars.
Yeah,
Big E should have been, but they treated him like a nerd. Drew McIntyre's a star. I'll give him that, but we didn't know he was going to be in this, so good surprise.
Yeah,
Kevin Owens. People like him, but is he a star? No, he's a mid to main eventer.
Mm-hmm. He's a title challenger. He's a title challenger.
Yeah, he's not when I say mid, I mean he's not mid. I like Kevin Owens. AJ Styles is a star. He kicked it off.
Randy Orton's a star.
All these people are 40 years old or older, pretty much.
Yeah.
Also,
this is an old ass roster that is not making any new stars anytime soon. And when I say, here's the thing. You know, you get that Paul Heyman quote that's like, give me 18 months and I can make you some new stars of the future.
Yep.
How many weeks has Hook wrestled?
5, I think now. He was more over than almost everyone on the show, let alone this match.
18 months you can make a
Rey Mysterio is a star, by the way. They don't treat him like one, but he is.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Because he doesn't understand the rules.
He's a legend.
Of Royal Rumble. Also, no, he comes out. I don't think they mentioned the video game once.
No, they just.
But
Pat McAfee should have been in it.
Pat McAfee should have been in it. Corey Graves would have been funny. Cesaro was not in it.
No, he wasn't.
Look at this roster.
Rick Boogs was.
Boogs is in it.
You got some of the points. Dolph Ziggler was in it. Robert Roode, who I forgot was employed, was in it.
Cesaro would have been a good game changer in this thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, they put in Ricochet when Omos was there to ruin the day. So that was
also
cool.
Just fucking dude status, right? Just dude status for this guy.
This guy, Ricochet, can do things that no one else can do. No one. Not even Ospreay in his day could do what Ricochet does. And when I say Ospreay in his day, I mean like when he was, all high flyer.
Yeah.
And he just is another dude on the roster. Happy Ridge Holland. Love though. I like Ridge Holland.
There's so many people, and also again, no NXT guys. So
nope. And that goes back. Once NXT was gutted, the Royal Rumble was gutted. That was the beauty of the surprises for the past couple years.
It would have made sense. They could have easily thrown in Grayson Waller, and that could have been something.
Yeah.
That would have actually
They could have had him eliminate AJ.
Yeah.
Why not?
It'd be like, oh man, Grayson Waller eliminated AJ. He's something I should watch on Tuesday nights.
Instead, they had Madcap Moss eliminate AJ Styles. Madcap Moss.
Heat, brother.
Madcap. Madcap. Madcap.
Let's talk
fucking Moss.
Let's talk about these predictions.
Oh, I walked away with this one.
Oh, yeah. So predictions, winner. I said Brock.
I also said Brock.
So that's another point for us. So I'm at 4 points now. I believe you're at 4 as well. No, you're at 3. You're now at 3.
No, I'm at.
Oh, you're at 4.
1,
you're at 4.
2, 3. Yeah, I was at 3. So I'm at 4 now.
First in, second in. Who did you say?
Brock Lesnar. Oh, no. Sorry. Winner, Brock Lesnar. First in, AJ Styles. Second in, Kevin Owens.
You got AJ Styles. Ding, 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 brother.
Sure, I did.
That's 5-4, Scotty. I said Rey Mysterio and Austin Theory. So close with Austin Theory.
Austin Theory is a good one.
No,
I said longest, AJ Styles.
Which is also correct. I said Damian Priest.
Most eliminations, I said Big E. I wasn't right. AJ Styles had the most.
I said Sheamus. Yeah, and it was AJ Styles that had the most as well. Longest and most eliminations.
30th, Brock Lesnar.
I said Big E.
Oh,
I thought that I'm realizing this thing about my predictions is I thought they were higher on people than they actually are, and I was like, oh yeah, no, they're not. Well, I forgot that they aren't higher on these people, but I thought they could have been like fake high on these people. So yeah, you got another point there. I think it's 6 or something. I don't know. Final 4. I said Brock, Styles, Owens, and Big E. And it was only your final 4, by the way. Jesus Christ. Final 4 was like Brock, Drew McIntyre. No, Big E is
the
not
real
final
one.
4.
The real one.
Yeah, it was like Brock, Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre,
and it wasn't Bad Bunny, but he was very close.
He was like 5th. He was like final 5.
Oh my God, who was it?
Was it Owens?
Was it Riddle?
Riddle. It was Riddle. It was Riddle.
Good spot for him. Congrats to him.
Good spot. But it just gets dumped out again.
Well, of course.
Also, I would have loved if that final 2 spot would have been longer.
Yeah, they really rushed that.
I
understood why the women's one wasn't.
Yeah, I think that final 2 spot should have been not the length of the Undertaker Michaels thing, but give me like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah,
or something.
But no, they didn't.
And then
numbers.
I picked 17 and 26.
21 and 30. And we both got a winner. Yeah, how about that? Never thought that happened.
Winner, chicken dinner.
You know what that means?
What does that mean?
We're hooked.
We're Hook Gang for life now.
Hook Gang, yeah. We're next week or whenever we get the hats, we're gonna just be on here every week with Hook.
I picked 17 and 26. 17 was Sheamus. 26 was Big E. Again, not
pretty
bad.
Good.
What did you say? You said 30 was Brock, right?
It was 21.
21, Drew McIntyre.
You got the two of the. I got the final 2 of the men's.
Ooh,
that's nuts.
What are the odds?
Wow, that's crazy.
What are the odds,
guys? You know what this means? Ring post, another competition, and Mr. Ryan takes the L on. Tough.
Yeah, I lost. I'm a big old loser. Now I have to watch live stream shitty matches and watch along.
I think we should. You know what? I got this. I'm going to remind you the matches that you have to watch because I'm a good guy. Okay, I'm a good guy.
It's very kind
of you. I think
you're very kind.
Only nice of me.
Yeah.
That I remind you.
Yeah, worst rated cage matches
that we can find, of course.
Well, yeah. There's that one that I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. So we got Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole. Hot start.
I believe even Vince McMahon or someone said that was the worst match I've ever seen in my life.
Jenna Maraska versus Sharmell.
I'll see if I can find that somewhere. I don't know what that is. That's just, is that like an old match? Man, I don't even know what that is.
It's something from TNA. If you can't find that, Jake Roberts and Yokozuna versus Jim Neidhart and King Kong Bundy. Sounds great. That's not a real match. Wait a minute. How did we end up there? Jeff Jarrett versus Scott Steiner versus Sid Vicious.
Oh, from 2001 WCW. I'll have to look at this list and make sure it's right, because I'm looking at a different list than you, I think.
Are you looking at the flop 50?
Oh, I'm not looking at the flop 50. I just went to match guide, typed in minimum number of votes 5, and then went to rating and just sorted by rating.
Ah, interesting.
Which are not entirely wrong. I mean, we got Yoshihiko versus Act Yasuko.
Oh, you don't want to watch that.
That's the worst one, apparently.
Well, do you know about that match?
No.
Oh, that's Ryan.
What?
Oh, that's when Yoshiko
What's up?
Legitimately shot on Act, and Act had to retire.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why she had to leave Stardom. Yeah.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the proper list.
There's a reason I didn't say it, and it was that reason.
We'll figure that out. Maybe that's not fun to watch.
No, that's why I skipped it.
Lawler and Cole, Sharmell versus Jenna Murasaka. I believe that match is the -5 stars meme. I think
it is.
Robert Yokozuna versus Neidhart and King Kong Bundy. Is this the Drake Roberts? No, that can't be it. One Warrior Nation, Eddie Stein block. There's another Royal Rumble match in here, by the way. I think. No, it's just a Battle Royal from WrestleMania 25. God, there's just a lot of crap matches in here. We'll figure out what exactly.
Tony Storm just got announced for WrestleCon.
Oh, that's cool.
In Dallas.
That's where we are about the show. That's where we are with the show. It's so bad that now my punishment for watching a bad show is watching more bad matches.
Brock Lesnar was the right choice, by the way.
Yeah, because a right choice would have been making a new star, but also last time he did that was that,
though. That's the whole thing.
The last time he did that was Nakamura, I think, and that
McIntyre.
See that? Oh yeah, McIntyre. Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't at that level until after that.
Wasn't last year Edge?
Yep.
Man. Next year's got to be a new person, right? Got to be a new star next year.
Man. Am I gonna watch? Am I gonna get stupidly excited for another Royal Rumble? Probably not as much.
Let's move on. We've been talking about the Royal Rumble for way too long. It's a fine show. Not worth.
It wasn't fine. It was a bad show. I'm not. No. We're not. I know Ryan's trying to be nice. It wasn't fine. It was a legitimately bad show.
I don't want to ether. I don't want to ether them.
It was the worst Royal Rumble show I've probably seen. In terms of where it should have ended up. In terms of they had good matches, Royal Rumbles, and it just all under delivered except for maybe Roman and Seth.
Speaking of massive disappointments, let's move on to the World on GCW, the Hammerstein show. These are ice cold takes from last Sunday.
Oh,
we're not
baby.
We're not going to review the entire show.
The album meme when there's a fire in the back, and he's like, "That's me for this."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're not going to review the entire show, obviously, because this is a week old, and there's no point. And also, it's been reviewed to death already. I think a more interesting conversation, Scotty, is. Oh, I mean, I can. This is the show that I'll ether, because we talked about this last week. Is that
this was worse than the Royal Rumble?
I think this show at a higher high.
They have better top matches.
Yeah.
but they had the worst matches as well.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett.
They had some shitty matches on this show. I think a more interesting conversation to have is about this show is about what this show will mean for GCW. What is GCW's place in the wrestling ecosystem? You know, let's just talk about GCW for a while and just be like, how do we feel? Give us a vibe check on the promotion and all that jazz. Scotty? Lost for words.
This was the most watched GCW show of all time. That's a guarantee. Mm-hmm. It's also proven.
Yeah. Fight person said that it was the most watched GCW show of all time. Didn't say how much it was.
And it was on pay-per-view.
Well, I was listening to the flagship, Voices of Wrestling flagship show, and they said that it was not on DirecTV, which is like 30% of America. It was on there for like a week before, and then the day of, it suddenly wasn't there anymore.
That's very funny. So, most watched show. Lots of eyes. The world on GCW. That's the name of the show for a reason. How could anyone have went into this and walked out a fan? That wasn't a GCW diehard. How could any new fan go into this and say, you know what? I got to add GCW to my catalog of what I'm watching moving forward. There wasn't anything to do that. The matches with GCW originals or roster members were the worst matches. They were the worst matches. Let's be honest here. Ruby Soho versus Alley Catch was not good. It wasn't. Joey Janela versus Matt Cardona, a hysterical mess that was not a good match by the end. The main event, there was no time, but also, was Nick Gage really going to be able to go that long?
Nah, that's my big old conspiracy theory.
Now, it's awesome that Nick Gage showed up. Awesome, because he needed to be there. We talked about that last week. But was it going to go long? I understand the pay-per-view time didn't help. But was it going to go 20 minutes ever? No. It couldn't have. It could not have.
Like people, that's the thing. People complaining about like the main event getting 5 minutes is like, what? You wanted it to go 20? Like, what? You wanted it to go 10? What are we talking here? Like
Jeff Jarrett versus Effie. What GCW fan walked away from that satisfied? What regular fan walked around, unless they were Jeff Jarrett fans, walked around from that satisfied? You know what was good? Lucha matches, really good. Very enjoyable. I'm going to give props to what was good. They went out of their minds, put on a show. They did the Lucha stuff, and it was really good. Leo Rush and Blake Christian, they had a good little 2 match, seeing it wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. Nice little sub of a match.
Yeah. And Leo's great. Blake Christian, we've been talking about a little bit past couple of weeks. But Ryan, you want to talk about the ladder match? No, you don't. Because it was dangerous, terrifying, and not in there wasn't any part of that I felt safe. Like I legitimately felt scared for a lot of the wrestlers. G Raver, I don't even know if it was him. He almost killed himself on one of those. When he fell off the ladder. Do you remember that?
Yes. Oh yeah. It looked bad. That looked like both that and the AJ Gray ladder fall.
Yes, that was terrifying. I have no idea what he's trying to do there.
This is a point that the Voice of Wrestling made. This show exposed a lot of things on the biggest stage ever for GCW. And I'm hearing things from even GCW fans that like, oh, this show wasn't made for us. It's like,
who was it made?
It's made for beginners, made for everybody, made for new people. I was like, well, if the new people are coming in, they just saw a bunch of your guys lose, and they just saw a bunch of your guys do this stuff. I saw like one or two people.
Guys lose.
Yeah, I saw like one or two people be like, yeah, I really like this show. I'm going to start watching GCW forever. But it was just like some random Twitter accounts. I didn't look into it at all. But that's like one or two maybe in the majority of people that are like, this show is utterly bad.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I walked away from this feeling I wasted my own time. Now, I'm going to watch some GCW matches moving forward. Some. I'm going to pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
Never going to watch full show again because I wanted this to be good. We talked about last week. I wanted this to be good for them.
It needed to be good for them.
It did. But it wasn't. And anyone that said it was either is, they might not care too much about match quality or whatever, that's fine. Or they're diehard that want to think it was good. But it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, and that's my other point is that like ultimately like I'm also seeing diehard fans being like, it was fine. Yeah. Like I'm not even seeing love from like big diehard people. I'm seeing a lot of defense for GCW. Right? I'm seeing a lot of people defending the promotion and being like, oh, one bad show or all these things. It's like
it was you couldn't have it, and it was bad.
It was poor quality matches. It was
production
awful.
Wasn't great.
Production was not great. They actively chose not to shoot the most interesting looking part of the venue. And I get it. People are dogging the paint job and saying the paint job is not bad, but it's the most interesting part of the entire venue. That is why everyone historically have shot that direction. Because it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the signs are and everything. Like, the majority of your fans are that direction.
Yeah.
And you're shooting the other way. A hard cam style. I don't know, man. Like, this show is frustrating to watch because it was supposed to be so much better. It should have been so much better. But we talked about the worries going into this is that there was there was COVID issues. There was like no actual stars that they had. We talked about like Nick Gage has to be on the show or what the hell are they doing? And they eventually got him on the show. But at the end of the day, if this whole thing was a work, this whole Nick Gage cameo, dogging on the promotion, dogging on Brett Lauderdale, doing all this stuff was all a work, then you're sacrificing buys. Right? And I agree. Yeah, people are dogging on the main event being 5 minutes. But the main event wasn't going to be 10. The main event wasn't going to be any better than what it was. The guy is not in good shape. He does not look good, folks. This promotion had a lot of crap throughout it. And I'm incredibly, the biggest frustrations I have about this show, Scotty, is the reaction from people. From the people inside the GCW promotion. That Brett Lauderdale quote that was floating around there. I want to see if I can pull it up because it infuriated me. I want to talk about this man's quote. God dang it, Brett. Let's see. I found one that has photos, but I can't find the exact. But the photos one is the same basic quote, basic idea. Basically, he tweeted out at some point. Last night was crazy. I'm so proud of our crew and our fans. The world on GCW was indie wrestling history. Which I must pause there. Is it? Is it indie wrestling history? Indie wrestling history was like All Out, All In, or whatever.
That was history. This was supposed to be.
This was history for GCW. This is not indie wrestling history. They sold 2,000 tickets. I think at capacity is 2,000. I think they actually sold 1,000 because of COVID stuff.
Yeah.
You, like fucking that big time wrestling thing. That the Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson versus FTR match. 3,000 is capacity. WrestleFest for new wrestling I watched recently. Capacity is 2,000. This is not indie wrestling history, but you had a point.
Yeah. Okay.
I had more thoughts, but if you have a point, go for it.
The problem with this show and saying it was history is that, yes, for GCW, it was history. You know, biggest venue or most important venue. I don't know if it's biggest, but most important at least. Yeah. And that's great. But then you designed the show to pretty much take away everything that made it GCW.
Yeah.
And I know you can't do death matches and you can't do that because of the New York rules.
But
that's
that
GCW.
You knew that going into the show.
You can't use that excuse.
Which
you can't.
Second line of this tweet. Of course, there are things I wish we could/would have done differently, but some things were just out of our hands. I did my best.
You knew that.
Brett, you signed these contracts months ago. You are working in New York. This is big game, dude. You want to be a big game wrestler? You're number 3 promotion in the world.
No, not world.
The world on GCW. If you're saying that you're the number 3 promotion in America, if we're saying that nowadays, then I'm going to treat you like number 3 promotion. You have to follow the rules of these wrestling promotions. And I get it. And Bix, thanks for helping out. But in saying that, like, oh, wrestling is actually okay, you could have gotten Nick Wayne in there or whatever, or you could have all done these things and it's not actually a sport. But apparently there's also stuff that like that even that law is like goes back and forth on. And whoever called in Nick Wayne to do that, screw that guy. But or gal or whatever. But you knew about the age restrictions, presumably. You knew that you're in New York, so you're not gonna be able to do the deathmatch stuff. You knew about all these other restrictions things, the pay-per-view time limit descriptions. What do you mean it was out of your hands, Brett? You're the promoter. If it's in anyone's hands, it's in yours. You signed this stuff. You agreed to do this. If you agreed to do this, then you have to live up to that and not complain about it on Twitter a day later. Why are you complaining about this shit when you agreed to do it? You knew this was going to happen. You knew you had a time limit on the pay-per-view. You knew that there was an age limit. You knew you couldn't do death matches in blood. Then why are you saying, out of my hands? Did the best I could. You're the promoter. What are we doing?
It wasn't my fault. No.
It wasn't my fault. You're the guy who's responsible for these things.
It was your fault. You had one job. You really did. You really did.
Yeah.
You had to book a show that won people to watch. The reason people wanted to watch this wasn't because of the matches. It was because of the historical and excitement around it.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people watched it.
Yeah.
No one looked at this card and said, oh, you know what? I need to see Allie Ketch versus Ruby Soho. No one said that, unless they were a GCW fan, maybe.
Kevin Gill said that.
Yeah, right. Awesome. That opinion matters so much to me. You can't play the blame game when you know what the rules are.
When you're the guy in charge. You're the guy in charge of the whole thing.
Right. When you booked this show, these rules were intact. It's not like, COVID made the rules change.
And COVID's been around for like 2 years, man.
Also correct. That's my whole thing. Like, COVID made rules change, fans-wise and whatnot. Nothing changed. Nothing. The only person you can blame is yourself. This was GCW's peak. They're not going higher than Hammerstein. You know why, Ryan?
Why is that?
Because they're playing the blame game of we couldn't do death matches at Hammerstein.
If you
what building
yes
is going to let them go out of their way to do their version that they can actually reach, that's bigger than this and more historical than this, that are going to make people watch? Oh, guys, we're going to go to this random place in the middle of Texas. Oh, that's great. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, by then, no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
GCW has good matches. I'm not saying GCW has bad matches. We saw some on the show. They have exciting events still coming. They have the Collective, which is sure to have a lot of good matches and a lot of cool events. I will give GCW credit for that. The Collective is a very cool event they do now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's agreeable.
Sure. Yeah.
But you can't play the blame game. You can't blame anyone but yourself. You had your chance to make a card, and you lost one match in the build-up. I understand Jonathan Gresham couldn't show up, but you lost Eddie Kingston versus AJ Gray.
Yeah,
that's tough. But everything else you could plan.
That was also what I just read was the second tweet by Brett Lauderdale complaining about not being up in hand. The other one that got traction was Sunday was a smash hit business-wise for GCW. All records shattered and it's not even close. But I'm not happy at all. Feel like I let a lot of people down. Got played and I should have known better. Big time learning experience. Going to work harder than ever to get a second chance.
How did you get played?
That's my point. What do you mean you got played, Brett? You're the guy in charge, and I get it. Look, I know where I am at. I know my position as like the kind of like head guy, one of the head guys of Countout, right? I know we're streaming live on Countout, and we have deathmatch fans that are probably maybe watching this, maybe listening to this or whatever. I know my position about all these things. I enjoy it sometimes, all these things, but I'm talking, and I know there's people that are on the show as well that love GCW, not on our show, but on our network that love GCW. Yeah. But I'm saying critically, Brett, what the hell do you mean you got played? You agreed to all of these things. It's not like you showed up to the venue on Sunday and found out all of these rules. If that's the case, man, you're a bad businessman. I'll say it. GCW, and I'm not gonna give my big hot take that I gave you, Scotty. I don't want to do that on this show because I don't want to ether this promotion. Because I had such, no, I can't do that. I can't do it. But on as highest highs, GCW can put on outstanding great matches like the Lucha Tag, put on outstanding great moments like Cardona versus Gage, or John Moxley showing up, or Ricky Shane Page versus Nick Gage, put on great moments like that. And at its worst, we get these like shitty booking, bad matches, and then going on Twitter and complaining and trying to defend your promotion. And I get it, you want to defend your promotion, but own up to it, Brett. You were the guy in charge. You can't be the one being like, it's out of my hands. It could be like another wrestler like that, but I don't know. Other wrestlers out there. You get Alley Catch cutting a promo afterwards being like, wins don't matter. Don't say that, first of all. The only other place I hear wins don't matter is out of Grayson Waller's mouth on NXT. So, and that show sucks ass. Like you're comparing yourself there, Alley Catch. But that's the thing. If it's not about wins and losses, still, I saw 3, 4, 5 GCW originals or whatever, all lose, right? If it's not about wins and losses, you can say that about one individual person, but when it's your entire roster losing, who gives a shit? I get there's politics involved, right? Jeff Jarrett wasn't going to lose this match. At the biggest stage here, he'll lose at like Big Gay Brunch or something when it's a smaller stage or a smaller payday. But Jeff's not going to lose in this spot. But it's like you get people out there defending this promotion, defending the booking and all this stuff, and the wrestlers themselves, and then complaining about like, you get MLJ out there complaining about Dave Meltzer getting shitty star ratings. Like just going out complaining. First of all, it's his opinion. First of all, these are my opinions. These aren't Scotty's. These are my opinions. Their opinions, their advice. You gotta do better. Own up to this shit. You put on a shitty show. You put on a shitty show that had bad matches and bad booking, and you knew about all the things going into it. You cannot turn around and be like, this is not my fault. You were the guy in charge. What are we doing?
Well said, Ryan. Well said. Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. I think you hit it. I think I've been pretty negative enough on this podcast. I guess my last piece on GCW is that they tried. They did. Not hard enough, but they tried. And they went about it all the wrong way.
Yeah.
The reason GCW has become so popular is they built it around their fans. And for their biggest show ever, they tried to win people over with wrestlers that won't be there tomorrow. They did the WWE way. They brought in people. They brought in big names. And it was a fail.
Yeah. 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 It's and we're talking third promotion of the
they're not the third promotion.
They're not the third promotion. And that's and I've been thinking about that a lot.
This was their chance.
I agree. I think if they put on a massive show that was outstanding, that was critically successful, or even mid-level successful, then maybe, critically speaking, then I think maybe they could make an argument for that.
I think it's unfair we call them the third promotion.
It's unfair.
Impact's on pay-per-view every few months.
And having a television show that gets way more views than probably the fight streams.
Impact's number 3. GCW had a shot though because of the steam they were gaining.
Yeah, and so that's what I was thinking about, is that when people are saying the number 3 promotion in America, ultimately they don't mean ticket sales. They don't mean views. They don't mean any of this stuff. What they mean is hype.
Yep.
Which is ultimately unmeasurable. Unless you look at ticket sales of how much hype is buying these things. How much hype is buying stuff. Ultimately what they're saying is hype. It has the biggest hype. Which and then I'll argue, well then what is 1 and 2? AEW, and then what's number 2? Who's got more hype? WWE? I don't think that's hype. On Twitter, at least.
But WWE and AEW are 1 and 2. Easy.
Yeah.
In terms of, companies in America.
Sure.
They're not moving out of those top 2 spots.
Yeah.
Anytime soon.
Yeah.
Even if you think WWE is bad, they're not moving.
No,
they're not going anywhere.
They just made like another multi-million dollar deal with like Indonesia or something.
In Disney, yeah.
Yeah. Disney.
With Disney.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. So all these promotions fighting for that number 3 spot. And I think it's interesting because this week, Moose specifically said that he wants Impact to start running bigger venues. Bigger than like the little, Shake Shacks that they're doing.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't see why not. We're talking about a promotion here that has Bullet Club in their main events all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. They have Jay White. They have G.O.D. Like, they have all this interesting steam that happened on the taping.
They got Ring of Honor No More.
Yeah, which is relatively interesting, right?
Dan Lambert was there. I know, but it is like, whoa, is that something? It didn't feel like it was something.
He's big enough, like people know who he is.
Yeah.
So I just find that interesting that, as we're talking about this GCW thing, Moose brings up, we should run bigger venues. We have the talent all of a sudden. And I'm also willing to say, like, New Japan's strong. Listen, it's a tape show, which, if they were live, it'd be a little different. But they're gaining very slowly because they have the Jay Whites of the world on their show. They're bringing in Jonah. I think they're bringing in Swerve by the. If you looked at the next Jay White Open Challenge, the person like the vacant
the
or
graphic
the looks like Swerve.
well, that doesn't necessarily be Impact, but that could be but that no, that's for New Japan, isn't it?
That's for Strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That could
that's
be
pretty cool.
that could still be AEW because
But
they did Christopher Daniels for one of those open
right.
challenges.
Yeah, you never really know. So that's the fun thing here. Like, to me, my interest levels.
Real quickly, tangent. Have those open challenges only been AEW people? It's been Daniels and Jay Lethal, right?
Yeah.
Has it been anyone else?
No one else yet. That they tape so weird, oddly, that like
yeah, it
takes a long time for them to air. Like this week was the first time it aired. Like I think yesterday they aired the Daniels one.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry,
So,
I just thought of that. I was like, they've only done AEW people.
It's fair. And it just brings the whole conversation together of GCW had a chance to be number 3. They had a legitimate chance. And now I think they go back down the system a little because you lose a lot of steam when your biggest show ever is a flop.
Yeah.
It's a flop in terms of
critical flop.
Yeah. You know, numbers wise, is great. Got all the people to buy.
Well, we don't know. Like ultimately, like it's the biggest sell ever, but it's also like number wise, biggest tickets they've ever sold on a single show, I believe. Yeah. And then we have no idea what the fight sales are, and they've never said any of those numbers ever before. So we have no idea what they are.
So I'm just gonna assume in my head that is a success in terms of making money or whatever.
Yeah.
But big flop. They moved down in my book. They had steam, but they have the collective coming up. Chance for them to redeem themselves.
Yeah, I've seen people saying that this show is like not like the big finale sort of thing that it was, despite doing like an SNL style closing of the show with everyone in the ring. And then saying that like this was like the beginning of the road to the collective and all that stuff. Which sure, but also they didn't build any like matches or ideas going into that, I think. You know, maybe
sick though.
Maybe Cardona, you know, Janela will do it again or whatever and have actual good matches there.
At spring break.
Yeah, you know, something like that. Also, I thought the lore and the kayfabe of spring break is that it's no longer Joey Janela's, but rather Ricky Shane Page's.
Yeah, it's Joey Janela's again. LOL.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I don't know, man. GCW is very frustrating. I saw a lot of people like coming to its aid within the GCW promotion, which I get it. You want to defend your stuff, but it's like it's
well, it's like WWE wrestlers defending their stuff.
Well, what's frustrating about GCW defenders within the promotion is that it very much just feels like be happy for us.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, don't tell me to be happy. Second of all, like if we're just, you know, being a promotion all about, you know, oh, we had the good college try, we did a good job, be happy for us, be happy. You should just be excited about wrestling you watch. I'm getting too close to my hot take. Let's move on. let's move on. Let's talk about Stardom Nagoya Supreme Fight. I was unable to watch this show. We don't have a lot of time left because we spent it all on crappy wrestling. But let's talk. I'm sure this show was great, Scotty.
Show of the month, baby.
Show of the month. It's almost over.
Yeah, probably show of the month.
Probably show of the month. Hot damn. Nagoya Supreme. I'm really happy if that's the case because I'm really excited to watch this. I'm bummed that I was unable to. So let's talk about it. Stardom Nagoya Supreme Fight. Let me walk you through it, Scotty. Here we go. Ready?
Card changed up, by the way.
The card changed up quite a bit. Yeah. This card, I need to see the card. What, like a month ago, I think, to now. Like when it was like, if this card has had massive changes through its lifespan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, this wasn't part of the card. So they released another video about the mystery person they were teasing.
Oh.
And they said their contract is ending soon and that they'll be wrestling at the Ryogoku show. It's Kairi Hojo, aka Kairi Sane.
The Ryogoku show, is that how big is that arena?
Rigoku Sumo.
Oh, Ryogoku Sumo Hall? I just didn't even click in
They're
my
doing
head.
back-to-back nights.
I didn't even,
Ryogoku.
that didn't even click in my head. You're right. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Back-to-back nights. Stardom World Climax. Sure, he's defending the belt twice. Big show.
Big show. Big show. And it's
Well,
it's
fall away.
Thank you for that callback.
You're welcome.
It's not. I'm trying to think of other people it could be. It could be Tony Storm.
It's not Tony Storm.
Where's what's her name? Saya Ida. Where is she? Is she still injured?
She's not the big mystery.
I know.
She should be back soon, though. She'll probably be back by that show.
I just had that thought of like, where is she?
You do like Saya Ida.
Where's Saya?
I saw the contract thing, the way they're selling it. So the way they're selling it is like Sayakamatani was like, like it has to be someone big. It can't be.
Why is Saya not just saying it though?
Well, the whole gag is that she spoils things, because at the 5-star Grand Prix, Rossi had the big surprise of Takumi Iroha being in the tournament, and as they were prepping for it, Saya goes, "I can't wait to wrestle." Who was it in her block? Utami and Sherry and Takumi, and everyone goes, "What?"
Wait, is this like in a promo?
This was at the press conference
when they're about to announce it.
When they were going to announce it later in the thing, and then she just collapses, and she's like, "Oh my god!" So the whole thing is now she just is a spoiler and can't hold the secret in.
Yeah. So now she's able. She's hold on. She can't keep the secret in, but this is her keeping the secret in because she knows.
Well, she told Momo Kogo, who's the new signee. So like she's starting to tell people.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think they're just gonna save it. Oh, and this wrestler will be at the Stardom World Climax press conference. That's what they said.
Oh, to sign a contract, probably.
Yeah.
Very nice. When is that press conference?
Probably sometime in February. They didn't officially announce it yet.
When's the Ryogoku shows?
March 26th and 7th.
Very nice. Still a little ways away. I'm sure there's other shows in between.
Plenty of time. More stuff. They have one pay-per-view in between.
We'll get more like Masked Singer style hints. Like, oh man,
I learned there's a show called The Masked Wrestler this week.
Yes.
On IWTV.
Yeah. Season 2, baby.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Speaking about Momo Kogo, any thoughts? Pre-show Battle Royal 5-way match. Momo Kogo defeated Fukigen Death, Rina, Ruaka, and Saki Kashima.
So as I said, the card changed. Waka and Mai Sakurai had to miss the show, as well as Tam Nakano, due to poor physical condition, which, seeing all three of them are in Cosmic Angels, you can kind of guess what it might have been. So it left Momo Kogo against 4 Oedo Tai members.
I love it.
So she changed the rules before the match. She said, if I eliminate one person over the top rope, I win. She did it.
She did it. She
accidentally, like they smashed into each other and she won. But it was very funny. It wasn't a match you need to see, but it was funny.
Yeah, it served its purpose.
Yeah, and Momo Kogo is very pure, so it was nice to see her win.
Next up, Future of Stardom title match, Hanan versus Lady C. Lady C loses, so Hanan retains the Future of Stardom title.
Pretty good opener. Hanan's good.
That's it. Moving on.
That's it.
I believe after the match, Momo Kogo challenged.
She did. That should be pretty good. Good highlight for her. By the way, Tuesday they're just doing Starlight Kid versus Natsupoi for the high speed title. So
why didn't he do it? Cool. Why didn't he do it here?
Natsupoi is doing a play.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah,
go out there and do some arts.
Yeah.
Next up, Oedo Tai. No.
There was a big moment on this show.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, yeah. That needs to be talked about.
How many people know about Prominence? So Prominence is a group that left the Joshi promotion Ice Ribbon.
Wait, is Prominence a faction? Or is it
they're
a promotion?
a subgroup. Like they're kind of like
Is
they're going to run their own shows and whatnot.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. They're freelancers somewhat, where they kind of go here and there.
They're Strong Hearts.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they're gonna open their own GLEAT.
GLEAT's great. GLEAT was really good this past week, actually.
I saw your tweets. You're like staying up watching GLEAT, and I'm like, Scotty, what are you doing, man?
GLEAT was really good this week. They started their tournament. Anyways, Prominence. They are a subgroup that left Dice Ribbon, and they want to do death matches, hardcore matches. That's just what they prefer. But
GCW
in Prominence,
GCW's got some open spots.
Is two of Ice Ribbon's now former biggest stars. Risa Sarah, who's the older one that kind of leads them, and Suzu Suzuki, who is one of the best young wrestlers in the world. She's in the conversation with Azumi and Starlight Kid in terms of like greatness. She might debatably be better than both
in terms of greatness and also future potential.
Yes, she's awesome.
Yeah,
19 years old. She won the world title of Ice Ribbon. Like she's already done it.
Yeah. So
her leaving was like stake through the heart type thing.
Yeah.
Poor Ice Ribbon fans. I do feel bad for them. She was a tough loss. And there was this big thing this week between Risa Sarah and Ice Ribbon. They had a COVID outbreak type thing. Very unfortunate. Where she was kind of getting mad at them. If you look into it more, the conversation it's not worth the time to talk about. Either way, she was making a big stink about it. And it's clear why. She didn't want to miss her Stardom shot.
Yeah.
So they come down, and for those that don't know, Julia left Ice Ribbon for Stardom. She was the one they called out. They had this great segment. Then they hit. So Julia gets in the face of Risa Sarah after Suzu Suzuki versus Julia is probably the main goal. But they got in the face of each other. And Suzu just pulls out a hammer to go nail Julia with it. And then, shit breaks out. DDM comes down to make the save. Tekla was also from Ice Ribbon.
I was about to say, there was somebody that specifically made that save for that hammer shot. And
yeah, she was there first.
It's your girl.
Yeah, of course, Tekla. She was there first. So, brawl. They also brawled in the back later. Big shock, though, because Prominence, like I said, they're working with Cyber Fight, which is the owner of TJPW. TJPW is Stardom's #1 competition right now.
Yeah.
Not that they are worried about them.
Yeah,
because,
it's a little far of a difference, but
still shocking.
Still #2 in terms of Joshi.
Right. So, just big news, big story. Prominence, like I said, very interesting, very intriguing because they put Suzu Suzuki at the forefront while she's not the leader. And I think that's a Rossi Ogawa move because he knows who's the most talented here. And I think he's going to want to sign her down the line.
Yeah. I guess they could potentially, these are potential signees that they could do. Some pickups. But
that was pretty big.
That's huge. That's huge news for
I think you like Suzu.
Sure. Okay.
You like hardcore stuff too, right? Or deathmatch-ish kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just kind of nuts.
Okay.
Just very good.
I like good wrestlers. So if there's a good wrestler,
well then she's fitting then.
Great. I love it.
Well, I know you like good wrestlers because we just shat on 2 promotions for an hour and a half.
Next up, though, in the tag team wrestling match was Oedo Tai, Momo Watanabe, and Starlight Kid defeating the team of Queen's Quest, Utami, Hayashishita, and Azume.
Nice 9-minute sprint.
Yeah, I was looking at this 9 minutes. There we go.
Starlight Kid won with an avalanche Spanish fly. So that was cool.
How was the drama in this match, if there was any? Because I'm sure it was
very dramatic.
Wasn't very dramatic. Just more high intensity sprint.
Yeah, more high intensity sprint. It's all about the singles matches between Utami Momo, and then Kid and Izumi probably. Good teaser though.
All right.
Really weird to see Utami in a non-important match on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that must be a weird feeling to see you just in a
Been a
random
long
tag,
time
in a random tag match.
Like I think anyone that that really like started watching Stardom, especially full time, like past year, you'll be like, this is
what's she
a
doing?
little uncomfortable.
Yeah. SWA Undisputed World Women's Title match. It was vacant, of course.
Big moment for Ryan.
Challengers were Mina Shirakawa and Tekla, and my girl, the Toxic Spider, Tekla gets the win and the new champion.
Out of their minds. So it was very entertaining. Was it a great match? It was very entertaining.
I'm super excited about this match because I enjoy Mina Shirakawa's work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm for that one match I saw, I'm a big Tekla fan. And I want to see her do more. I want to see this.
A couple minutes of comedy and really good wrestling the rest of the way. So it was a good match. And good for Tekla. She's gonna have some good matches with that title. The right champion. Should be good.
I'm also very glad that. Am I glad? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm glad that this title got separated from Shuri, so we can have some of this stuff. And yes, I know that there's like a billion other titles in Stardom.
This is like a mid-card title, though.
Yes,
like legitimately now.
Well, I mean, the Wonder of Stardom.
Wonder isn't mid-card.
Really? I would consider Wonder mid-card.
No, it's very main event-ish.
Oh, well, I would say like upper mid-card is Wonder, lower mid-card is SWA. I'll trust you, though. If you disagree, then I'll trust you.
There's a reason Mayu holds it.
Fair enough. Goddesses of
Stardom. Shirai held it for like ever.
The SWA?
No, the Wonder.
Yeah. Fair enough. The Goddesses of Stardom title match. This was, of course, Suzuki and Kagama defeating the team of Maika and Himeka. Was Maika a bear in this match?
No, she's no longer a bear.
What?
Yeah, she got rid of the spell. A very good match. Best match for me up until this point. I really just love both tag teams and good action the whole way. It was kind of the Himeka show, which was nice.
Every match that she's in feels like it's her show.
Yeah, well, it's weird with Maika because Maika also kind of has that feeling. So they have to like make them both work. So she kind of took the step back this time, and it worked.
They have to.
Koguma also released German on Himeka.
They have to Himeka both work.
Oh my god! Moving on. No! Get out of here!
Get out of here!
Make yourself get the collapse.
Audience, get out of here! Wonder of Stardom title match. Sayakamatani defeats Unagi Sayaka. I'm very interested. How was this match? Because on paper, you're looking at this match and thinking that this is a good sort of like, pardon the pun, I guess, future of Stardom sort of match here. Like, it definitely feels like a future World of Stardom title match down the line.
Didn't love the first half. A lot of people are very high on this match.
Okay.
Which I guess I can get, but the first half was very uncoordinated per se. They felt like they were a little off. The finals, the match probably went near 20 minutes or so.
1847.
Okay, so
good year.
Yeah, probably the last 8 minutes were the best part. For an example, like I gave it a 3. So
that's not as high as I would have expected, though.
No, you wanted it to be higher. I just think their chemistry is very weird.
Okay,
they have a better in them someday. I hope.
Yeah, they have time to figure it out. I think you're probably also on the low end. I mean, Cage Match gave it 7.72, which would be like a 3.86.
Yeah, I was on the low end. A lot of people liked it way more than I did.
Okay. Well, then there's still hope for me yet, I guess, to enjoy this.
You'll probably be around where I was, if I had to guess.
That's probably true. World of Stardom title #1 contendership match. Now, of course, this match was supposed to have Tam Nakano in it as well, and then be like a thing where like 2 winners win it. And what a way to work around that whole issue by making it a time limit draw, 30-minute time limit draw. Julia, Mayu Iwatani. Match of the show, it looks like.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Match of the year contender.
Match of the year contender? You kidding me?
Mayu had her boots on. This was vintage Mayu Iwatani. And Julia's, been awesome since she came back. It was fantastic. To not spoil too much of it, because I think it's better for you to kind of go into it just not knowing too much.
Sure.
They just went, they went balls to the wall. They made a negative into a positive, right? You have the difficulty of Tam's out. Tam can't wrestle. So how do we better this? I liked their 5-star match a lot from last year. That was really good. This was infinitely better for me. Like, they just hit every point. They had the early build-up where it was more Mayu dominating than Julia, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then about 12 minutes in, boom, they just went. And this is one of those times when 30-minute draws works.
All right.
You didn't really want either one to win. And now at Stardom World Climax, night 1, Shuri versus Julia. Night 2, probably Shuri versus Mayu Iwatani. Can't get much bigger than those. Gotta bring the heat.
Talk about number 3 promotions in America.
Yeah. They're number 3 in Japan right now. Talking
about fighting for that major promotion slot in the Count Out Year End Awards.
Yeah, I think they got it.
Yeah, you saw that. I'm bringing it up here, but like the Voice of Wrestling match list came out, which is a pretty reputable like year-end match list.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. You and I both voted in it. Utami and Shuri, if I'm not mistaken, were number 5 on that list.
Highest Joshi match ever.
And they've been getting higher and higher every year, and then number 5. I mean,
I actually talked to Rich about it from Voice of Wrestling. We were talking about it. He was like, it almost missed. Like, it was this close from missing top 5. And he was like, I don't like to be so, like, I don't have like preferences or whatever, but he really wanted it to make top 5. He's really happy it did.
Yeah.
And I'm happy it did.
Yeah, well, it's because it's huge. It's a huge moment for American Joshi fans, probably Joshi in the ability to get Joshi cross national or international. Yep. That it's a huge thing.
Yep.
It's a huge thing that is able to do that. Now, if we can maybe send some Stardom wrestlers over, a little bit to get some more American appeal, maybe, who knows? Maybe. Do you think I'll ask this question because I don't know if it's been done. I don't know my Stardom history at all, obviously. Do you think Stardom could run a show in America?
They did a U.S. tour.
Did they do a U.S. tour? How did that? Well,
that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Do you think they could do a show like, maybe not, not a New Japan Strong sort of thing, but just do like a one-off California show?
I think their smartest thing would be overall, not just them, but with New Japan, would they do a combined show? Do a LA place or somewhere in California, or you even push New York or somewhere in the East Coast too. Doesn't really matter where.
Start California with Joshi.
Yeah, right. Well, start California too, because that's where their dojo is.
Yeah,
which makes everything easier. I think they would be really good to do a combined show. I definitely think Stardom could do a show. They just have to pick the right location.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can't do like the middle of like Portland. Which,
think
by the way, Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito
going to the
are
middle
going
of
to
Portland.
Portland.
With potentially other people, I think, right? There's gonna be like maybe one more person
on IWTV. I learned.
Ooh,
Prestige Wrestling.
Yeah, no, I think you're right in saying that like doing it with New Japan is the classic New Japan test run, but I guess it's not New Japan, it is Bushi Road. But that would be like a great test run for those promotions. But that would be like that would have to be like Bushi Road being like, hey, we put that together, please.
I want them to do a show called like Bushi World
and do like a massive show like that.
Yeah, for both promotions, and like consider them equally for that show.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think they could do. Well,
Cyber Fight does it.
That's true.
They do Cyber Festival.
That's true. I think they could do
so
it.
I don't know why.
I think there's enough
road.
I think there's enough. Like if they're doing stuff of Noah, I think they could do stuff of Stardom. That's the way they don't do it.
Well, seeing that they're under the same umbrella, that would also help.
That would make it easier on everybody. Everyone makes money. Bushi makes the money 100%.
Yeah. Well, Stardom was the one positive in Bushi Road's business last year.
That is true.
So
anyways, Julia, Mayu Iwatani, we're talking
watch it.
Match of the year contender.
You like physical? You like a little storytelling? You like a little Mayu Iwatani greatness?
Two great wrestlers.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Julia was on her shit
during this match? Does anyone
bleed? Yes.
I was gonna say, does anyone come out in like a black leather motorcycle helmet and then spear Mayu through like a table?
Can't say they did. Can't say they did.
I don't know if it's a good match then.
That's fair.
Main event, World of Stardom title match, Shuri versus Mirai. You've been hyping up Mirai to me for a little bit now and saying that she is better than her debut. Was this match better, the best you've seen of Mirai in this promotion so far?
Probably the best I've ever seen of Mirai.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Overall, like
Stardom,
TJPW, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sink or swim. I've been saying that. That's what this was. This is your chance, Mirai. You're facing one of the best wrestlers in the world, the world champ, and you gotta live up to it. I thought she did.
All right.
You know, there were some parts where you're sitting there like, and you have to remember, Mirai's 2 years into her career. 2. That's all she's been wrestling. And there's some in this match like, okay, you know, she's still new to this, she's still learning. But she brought the fire, she brought the action. She was able to live with Shuri, and what they were able to accomplish was that both of them got over. You know, Shuri gets the dominant win, but Mirai went 26 minutes with her.
Yeah.
She showed that fight to, you know, live there and stay. And long term, that means that she's going to get that shot again. And she's probably going to win eventually one of those 2 titles.
Damn.
She can take it back. No, but like it's a good thing.
Wait, sorry. You're saying that you think Mirai could potentially win the World of Stardom title?
Yeah.
Wow. I really got to watch this match.
You don't put her into this match if you don't have confidence that she'll develop into that.
Fair.
You don't.
Fair. Because
she's 2 years into her career. You have to have a lot of confidence in her. Do I think she's doing it in the next year or 2? Probably not. I think, you know, you have someone in Micah that's ready to be that next person after Julia. Like there's a lot of people that need to win these titles.
I'm fearful that Julia might never win it.
Julia, she's winning it next. She's winning this year.
That might be true.
No, there's still like their number 1 most favorite person in the wide world. It's not.
No, well, that's incorrect. The number 1 most favorite person worldwide is Tekla. Don't tell me that's wrong. You can't tell me that's wrong. It's Tekla.
I can tell you that's wrong.
No.
Worldwide?
Worldwide, it's Tekla. Have you seen that GIF? It's everywhere. That's their show, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Ring Post Radio.
What was your match of the week?
My match of the week was Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes. I wasn't
original.
I know, I'm very original. I wasn't as high as Dave Meltzer and many others, but I thought there was still a very good match. I thought it was a good singles ladder match. We have not seen a singles ladder match in a while, but it was not just a singles ladder match. It was a singles ladder match that did multi-man ladder spots, which, maybe could hurt. I've heard someone say that sort of thing hurt the selling of the moves.
I think it hurt the rest of the flow.
Yeah, which I think goes into the selling a little bit as well, like the flow of the match. I felt like it should have been like a little longer, but it was already 22 minutes. They stretched it to 25s, just sold for a little bit longer in some places. Maybe would have got me there. I don't know. But it was a very good match. I very much enjoyed it. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Neitzey. What's that?
I hate the hot potato.
Well, it feels like this hot potatoing is going to be done for now. It's just going to be Sammy moving forward.
Do they know Sammy's not over like they want him to be?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because he's back to cutting promos with cue cards. No, I mean like legitimately. Like they had him cutting actual promos for a little bit, and now he's back doing cue cards.
Which is what got him over.
Which is what got him over, but it's also a huge handicap. And it won't get him any further because he can't cut a promo.
I hope Hook wins.
Yeah, there's a couple people. I don't know who.
Hook.
But yeah, like I said, you can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Neitzey, and I'll do the rest of the plugs after the show. Scotty.
Oh yeah. Match of the week that wasn't Julia versus Mayu, since I already talked about it. Takashi Sugiura versus Go Shiozaki.
Yeah.
2 meanie men slapping meats. What's better?
Okay, I watched this match. Apparently Go Shiozaki got injured. I think I saw him in a hospital bed.
No, that was from his previous surgery, I believe.
Okay. I'll double check, I guess.
I also got concerned when I saw that picture. I was like, what?
He'll
wear a 5XL shirt.
Was this the first match of that Go Shiozaki series?
Yes.
And he lost?
Yes.
Wasn't the point of it a
weird story?
Yeah, I was like, wasn't the point of it that he had to win all 4 and get a title shot?
Yeah.
A very interesting story they're laying out here.
I like it because I don't think they want him to become champion instantly again.
Yeah.
But he will.
But now he can feud with Segura, so I think that's a good enough for me.
Hell yeah.
Good enough for
me.
Big
meaty men slapping meats.
Yeah.
They chop the shit out of each other. They have one shot in this.
I like
where I audibly
almost levels of chopping.
Yeah. Wait, what? Follow me on Scotty Wrestling. Goodbye.
You can follow the show. You can follow the network at Countout Pod on Twitter. You got Scotty left the call. He's gone forever. You can follow. You can listen to the show if you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. On desktop, I guess there's a little QR code bottom right of our video call where there's a QR code. You just pull up your phone to it, and it'll go directly to our Red Circle page where you can listen to it on YouTube or not YouTube, Spotify or Apple Podcast. Well, not Spotify; they're canceled.
I had to stand up for a second.
Yeah,
got a cramp.
That's a long podcast, baby. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Subscribe to the show. We greatly appreciate it. Leave a 5-star review. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back all time next week for a...
4.
What?
I think you leave a 4-star review.
No. 5 stars only.
Don't give us a Cody Rhodes special.
That's
3-star.
Don't give us a Cody Rhodes special. We'll be back next week to talk about something. I don't know yet.
What are we talking about?
I don't know, man. I'm pulling up my calendar right now because I'm like, I honestly have no clue. I think it's
have some fun next week.
Next week there's 2 GCW shows and a Beyond show. That's all I have written down.
Got it.
And then there's nothing happening till Impact No Surrender. I'm gonna have to write down new things to figure out if there's anything we're missing. Probably missing something. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a guest on. I don't know.
Don't hold your breath on that one.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good day.